Broadcasting from the greatest castle in the world, in the county of Lawrence, NCTV45.
Hello and welcome to NCTV45's Meet the Candidate. This is a public affairs announcement and program of NCTV45 as we strive to keep Lawrence County informed. Now today I'm with Marla Gallo Brown. She's running for state representative in the 9th Legislative District. Marla, welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Marla, where you're from?
Sure, I would love to. So I actually grew up in Lawrence County, small town, Hillsville, Pennsylvania. Went to Mohawk High School. My father, Frank Gallo, was a school teacher there. My family, while I was in school, owned a small business up in Calls Plaza, Neshannock Township, called Rosie's Bakery, Rosie's Italian Bakery, and that's where I started working while I was in high school. Left there to go to complete my undergraduate work at Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is where I started, and took my first job actually after graduating there with UPS.
That's great. I kind of remember that Rosie's Bakery, and I would remember food in a second.
Yeah, we definitely had the best Italian bread around.
Now, you're running for this position, a conservative. Second Amendment. Can you tell us a little bit how you feel on the Second Amendment? I'm not a gun owner, but I truly believe in the right to bear arms and the Second Amendment. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I mean it's a basic freedom intended by our founders, and I do own a gun, and I have a license to carry, so it's a big deal to me. My family, they're all hunters, and this is a basic right that should not be interfered with by the government.
Now, next up, and I know this is ProLife, and in here it says a CEO with a nonprofit Catholic pro-life organization. And tell us about your pro-life stance.
Yes, this is something very near and dear to my heart because I think that respecting the dignity of life is one of the most basic principles in life. And if we lose our focus on that, then we've lost everything, in my opinion. I was fortunate enough to take the role on as CEO of a pregnancy resource center in Atlanta. And I was asked to take on the role. It was a small mom and pop organization. They were bringing in about $250,000 in fundraising, and they wanted to grow the organization. Planned Parenthood is very big in Atlanta, and there's a lot that goes on in terms of trafficking because it's close to the airport. So I took on the role as CEO, and in 3 years we grew the organization from a small mom and pop to 3 locations and a mobile RV unit. We took fundraising from $250,000 to $1.9 million. But what I'm most proud of is the fact that we started saving over 600 babies a year from abortion. And that organization continues to grow today. I just stepped off the board of directors because things have gotten quite busy with the campaign, but this is something that has always been close to my heart. As early as high school, in college, I was involved in the pro-life efforts, and it continues to be my first and foremost passion.
Now, let's talk about government involvement and engaging in social experiments in school, or I'm sure everybody at this point has watched the news about government overreach, especially in our schools, with our second graders to around sixth graders. It's a nightmare.
This just blows me away, what's going on in our schools. And if you're not aware of what's going on in our schools, you need to become aware of it, because it's very scary. The government needs to stay out of our schools, number one. This critical race theory that they're trying to push on our children is, in my opinion, not good. We need to unite people and children, not divide them any further. Children in grade school, at least the children that I've interacted with, they're not prejudiced. They see no difference. Why are we trying to create barriers where there are none? It's a big concern of mine, and something that I absolutely would take on in Harrisburg.
Can you speak in closing about career politicians? We have people that have been in that position for a long time, not just legislators, but various positions.
Yes. See, this is, I think, my biggest advantage. I've done lots of things in my career. I was an executive with UPS. I owned a small business for many years, which I sold, and then I ran a nonprofit. I'm not getting into politics because I need a job. I don't need a career. And I don't need to worry about anybody being upset with things I do, because I'm simply getting into this to make a difference. Look, this community helped form me and my values, and I want to give back to it. And this is the way that I can do it. I'm thankful for the people that have come before me. It isn't easy, and I'm not going to make it sound like this role is easy. But I think there comes a time when we get complacent if we're in jobs too long, and we start taking things for granted. This town, in my mind, can be so much more. I had to leave here for a career 20 years ago, and I don't want my kids and grandkids having to do the same thing. Yet the town I left 20 years ago was greater than the one I came back to. And it shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way when everybody around us is growing except us. I want to change. We need to get rid of career politicians. I've already signed a commitment that I would not become one. And I would just ask you to really, really research the candidates that are running in the primary, because one of my competitors in particular says that, he's against career politicians, and yet he has no background. All he's ever done is politics. So if you're concerned about career politicians, be careful that we don't put another one in place.
Thank you, and I want to thank you for coming to NCTV 45 and meet the candidate. It's a careers, a public affairs presentation of NCTV 45, keeping our community concerned and presenting as many sides as we can before elections take place.
And Angelo, I can't emphasize enough how much I appreciate you, educating the viewers and giving them all the options so that they can make the very best decision for our community. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Marla. And thank you. Remember, we're available anytime on your time. The train that runs on your schedule, why, that's NCTV 45. Right here in Newcastle, Lawrence County. Now, make sure you have a great day, and we'll see you again real soon.